Good afternoon, everyone. Friday, October 11th. Happy long weekend for those who are taking advantage of a Thanksgiving weekend and celebrating. So I will note always holiday weekends, reduced hours on services like transit and recreation. And so just keep an eye out for that, especially on Monday. So just noting that as we head into the weekend, we're going to get some gorgeous, gorgeous weather in this blue sky city, and I hope you all enjoy it. So I want to bring a couple updates to you today. I want to talk, we've been talking about Deerfoot construction from hearing about residents, so I want to just follow up on what has happened there. I want to talk about community events that are coming up. And I want to give a little bit of an update and perspective on the news at a Green Line that is out there. And so, yeah, I want to just touch on that a little bit. So first, I will talk about Deerfoot construction. So we put out a statement last week, I believe, and so just saying that we were really continue to ask for improved communications around Deerfoot construction. We were able to secure a meeting with the project team from Alberta Transportation this week and bring forward some concerns that we are hearing, and most noticeably timely updates, an improved website. And so we were just on the website. I was just on the website a few minutes ago. It's already looking better. It's still not great. But you should be able to click through and find things, and always make sure you are signed up for the notifications and emails. They are getting better, and we did get commitment from the teams through Alberta Transportation and the province to continue to do better communications and try to give our office more updates as well, and work with the city on that as well. The city did request an open house for the fall. Another open house this year, just to give people a project update. So we will see, and when I say the city, administration is requesting that. So we'll see what happens there. So just letting you know, we are trying to get them to improve their communication on Deerfoot. It looks like it's happening. They heard us. So this is good. Thank you all for raising your voices. I will always say, please, if you do have concerns, send it through the Deerfoot Improvements website to their email directly. They're saying that they're not hearing things. I also understand if you email us first and we're not able to help you, the chance of you sort of duplicating that email, it's like doing it again, and you may not want to do that. So I totally understand that. So there's that. Earlier this week, Monday, we hosted 10 of our community association presidents. So there's 17, 18, it's kind of a bit big. Some are together and some are community associations in Ward 11. So we hosted a president's meeting on Monday. 10 of them came out. We had a really, really fruitful conversation. So a couple things that came up. So one thing I've been working on is facility maintenance and management for community associations. I've been working on this and working to develop a program that can eventually come through budget to support community associations across the whole city around facility maintenance and management. It was a challenge I had as a community association president. It's a challenge our community associations are having today, and it just takes a ton of volunteer time and effort and takes away from the things that people are wanting to do, which is to get out and be in community and join in community and host events. And they don't really want to be managing, trying to find contracts and people to fix HVAC systems. They don't want to be in that business anymore. I totally get it. So we had that. We also had a really great conversation around planning and just planning generally in the role of community associations. And what I hear is every community association does it differently and wants to do it differently. And so the message that I'm giving to you is your community association can choose. So when you look at the Societies Act, which is what community associations are registered under, they are to do social recreational programming. Now, over the years, it has definitely evolved. Where community associations have been part of planning. Now, some community associations want to be part of planning conversations, and some community associations don't want to be part of planning conversations, or they want to stay neutral and they just want to inform. And so my message to everyone is respect the wishes of your community association and the volunteer capacity that they have. If you want to see something different, go make a case, go talk with them. But understand that community associations represent their membership. They don't necessarily represent the whole community. And so there's always that balance too. And so if your community association isn't involved in planning, that might be due to a purposeful choice. They may not feel like they have the training or the knowledge, or some may want to get involved because they're really passionate. Now, planning is more than just the built form of like housing. Planning can also be about the public realm and safety and parks and green spaces. And so their community association may focus on a few areas, but not others. And always remember, volunteer-led, volunteer-driven, volunteer capacity, and be grateful for the work that they are doing in your neighborhoods. So I want to talk, so that's that. So we talked about that. So speaking of just communities generally, so that was President's meeting. Yes, we had a really good conversation and some good laughs. We have great leaders across Ward 11. I will say this, all men who came out, and we do have some women community association presidents, and they sent this, and at this time they sent a male designate. But like, let's get more women in leadership at the community level too. So stand behind, but it's really hard because I know a lot of women step up, and it's hard because you are being the mom, you're being the community association leader, you're probably helping out at preschool, you're volunteering at school. So let's help our women be involved in leadership at the community and at that really local level too, which means building a good team around them and supporting them so they're not doing everything. So I will say that's my plug. On November 4th, we are hosting, so we, Ward 11, are hosting a community conversation. So we're going to be hosting it at Oak Park Church. Details will go out tomorrow on the Facebook. I put a little thing in the stories yesterday on Instagram, so it's all coming out. It will come out in the newsletter. So that is coming out. So November 4th, we're hosting a community conversation at Oak Park Church in Cedarbrae. We're hosting it there because one of our guests, so there's going to be, it's a two-part evening. One of our guests is the Southwest 55 Connect group. They are hosted out of Oak Park Church. That's kind of where their home base is. So Southwest 55 Connect is one of our groups. We're also going to be hearing from Jim Jenkins from the Braeside Eco Sanctuary and Community Garden. And then we're also going to be hearing from Ryan Anderson of Calgary Alliance for the Common Good. So we kind of have this spectrum where we have someone who's like neighborhood focused, like Ward 11 or kind of like Southwest focused, and then sort of like a citywide community leader. And so we're going to have a nice conversation with the four of us around the interplay of those things. So that's part one of the evening. Part two of the evening, you'll be able to submit your questions ahead of time for me to answer. And Darren Krause from Livewire News Calgary is going to be reading me the questions. I'll be answering, and then he'll probably be adding on some extras in his true reporter style to try to tease out anything that I might not be answering. And so this is a back and forth. And the reason we're doing it that way is everyone can send their questions in ahead of time. We can see which questions are the most popular. What are people most wanting me to answer? We can bundle similar questions together, and then we can try to get through as many as we can. Then no one's put on the spot also asking on the floor, because not everybody is comfortable doing that, and so all sorts of questions can come in. So that event information will be coming out tomorrow in full. It is a ticketed event, and the only reason we're doing that is just to manage capacity and seating numbers. So the tickets are free. We are also going to be asking for donations. So for the food bank or either winter wear, and if you bring a donation, then you get entered to win a door prize. So we're trying to like something for something. So that is happening Monday, November 4th, 6:30 to 8:30, and we hope to see you there. Now I want to give a little update on the news around Green Line. So the province is painting a very rosy picture. It is not as rosy as it looks. It's not as rosy as it looks. And so, I'm just needing to move this mat here. It's not as rosy as it looks. I want to be optimistic. I really do, because I want the Green Line delivered. There are a lot of outstanding questions, and there are a lot of challenges with the way this is being done right now. So I just want to walk through kind of as bare bones as I can to talk about maybe how we got here, what's coming next. So when the province told us in September that their funding portion would not cover the alignment approved by council, we did not have a project. And so council made the very difficult decision to start winding down the project because the Green Line team that we had assembled and all of the contractors involved were specific to the alignment from Eau Claire to Milliken Ogden. So when the province said they would no longer fund that, we were left with a massive funding gap and could no longer do that portion. So we said we had to withdraw. And so we started winding down the project, and already hundreds of jobs are gone. The core Green Line team is down to a very, very bare minimum. Lots of senior leadership gone from that level. Because again, that was their contracted project area. So the province is now wanting to rescope, redefine, replan 4th Street. So 4th Street Southeast, so think Event Center north of Stampede down to Shepherd. And the minister will say, for the first time, the Green Line has grown. And it's not really true. You might have more stations in there, but the ridership is less. So the ridership from 4th Street to Shepherd is about 50% of what it would have been from Eau Claire to Milliken Ogden. So you may get more kilometers of track, but you're actually spending more dollars per rider. So these are really important distinctions. And we still don't have a plan to get from 4th Street Southeast into the downtown. So they say they're working on that plan. My challenge with the way this is being done right now is the province hasn't committed any additional funding to any of that planning. So the money that is being spent on the planning is presumably coming out of their committed $1.53 billion. It will likely be in the tune, probably no less than $400 million to do that planning, could be more, which means that you have that much less money to do construction. So we are now in already less money for construction with a longer line. Now, arguably not as technically challenging to go from 4th Street to Shepherd, but you have less money to do this now. So they may be able to cost cut down, but what that is going to mean is some very bare bones stations. Now, we have some very bare bones stations along the red line and along the blue line, and the public realm is not awesome, and it could totally be improved. So the Green Line that the city was leading, the Green Line team, was trying to strike that balance between cost cutting and having a functional station, but having something that has a degree of aesthetic pleasantness, so it didn't feel sterile and hostile. And so these are the negotiations that are going to happen. So yes, I think arguably at the end of the day, I could say getting people on transit is important and probably takes precedence over aesthetics. 100% I will agree with that. But I'm not sure that we can compromise all aesthetics because hostile environments are going to make people want to ride transit either. So we have to be really careful that we don't cut too much lighting, too many other safety considerations. So CPTED is what it would be called. So crime prevention through design. So good lighting, accessibility ramps. There's lots of things, right, that go into making a transit environment work. So, and to reduce crime and disorder in the long term, right? Because hostile areas create hostile environments, attract hostile people. These are all things. So, and so we don't know even the cost that it's going to replan downtown, whatever that could look like. And we have no idea what kind of funding that is going to cost and if there will be enough funding from the province. I have no idea what kind of funding it's going to implicate for the city, and we have no idea if the federal government will retain their portion of funding that they've committed to and or bring more based on this new alignment or based on something that is 4th Street Southeast to Shepherd. I will also say this. So yeah, you also have less riders. So while I should be excited because my ward could be getting stations, I'm not sure who wants to get off at 4th Street Southeast, just north of Stampede, so where the event center is going to be. And if they have to get into downtown, they're either going to have to take a shuttle bus, right? If we can't agree on a downtown alignment, or they're going to have to walk 4 blocks in either direction to get onto a at capacity red line. So not getting into the downtown is deeply problematic because I don't want to say train to nowhere because I don't like it, but it's not getting people to the destination that they really need to get to. So I'm wary at this moment. I want to be hopeful and optimistic. I will still stand by the fact that having an evaluation done behind closed doors, without it being in the public, having a conversation about the merits of this project, understanding the true costs, and doing a lot of this work behind the scenes would have been way better for everybody. Better for the contractors, better for Calgarians, better for Albertans, better for the city administration, better for provincial administration, better for everybody. Like, from a cooperative lens, it would have been better. And I've always maintained, as a funding partner, you have all the rights in the world to evaluate a project that you are funding. Absolutely. How, when, and where you do it is super important too. And repeating it over and over, we're not getting a different outcome. Anytime we've repeated the study over, we're not getting a different outcome. So I'm challenged. I want to believe that this is going to work out for Calgarians. I want it to work out for Calgarians. I worry about the financial implications of the way that we are doing it right now, and that ultimately it would have and will be just have been a better and cheaper if the province would have just looked at getting us to help us, look at getting to Shepherd. We could have secured matching I'm confident we could have secured matching federal dollars for less than it's going to cost us to restudy and redesign everything. So that will shake out. We'll see if my prediction at some point comes true. We need it. Most importantly, we need to get downtown, and we need to get downtown with a plan that allows us to get over the river to north. That is so important. So I will leave it there and say happy Turkey weekend. I hope that you are finding yourself with friends or family and good food. And I wish you all and warm weather, because, well, it's not super sunny out right now, but it's supposed to be warm. So please also get outside and enjoy the beautiful fall weather that we are having. So thanks all.